Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news as Sabitzer's agent hints at a summer transfer to Manchester United, and I knocked my PSV controller onto my foot. That hurt. We'll also be talking about an update from Napoli with their president again, speaking about a summer transfer for OSIMHEN. And more American investors offering up funds for somebody to buy Manchester United. And a backing of the Qatar bid from an unlikely source. Yes, Barcelona manager has been doing his press conference tonight ahead of the game against Manchester United tomorrow night, which will be absolutely huge. And Xavi has given a vote of confidence to the Qatar bid, specifically naming the person who wants to buy us. So a big update, probably not from where you would expect, but there you go. Xavi, who I think is doing a great job at Barcelona, by the way. It's got nothing to do with that. Anyway, before we get into all of that, lots to discuss, lots of breaking news to discuss and interesting things for you to get your comments in on. But as you can see on my left, it's one of our better sponsors. I mean, they're all brilliant, but Manscaped's been with us for a long time. We've been using it for a long time, men, haven't we? Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Yes, we're sponsored by Lambscaped? We don't want to be scaping any not for lambs. It's for It's Manscaped. It's Manscaped, and I always turn it on. I always could. Links in the video description for it. Scan the QR code next to me. 20% off and free worldwide shipping. I've done it again. When you use it just wants to get to work. 20% off and free worldwide shipping when you use the link in the video description and the code United Stand, or you can scan the QR code next to me. Lawnmower 4.0, that's the one that does all the business down there. Lovely weight to it, familiar feel to it, adjustable lengths, we wish. Light, as you've seen a few times already, for a more precise shave. Why you'd want to do it in the dark, I don't know. It is waterproof as well. As I said, I would use it before getting wet because it's easier. It's harder when it's wet. I just turn it on all the time. That's the Lawnmower 4.0. Electromagnetic battery charging. You just drop it into the dock, charge it, away you go. Also, you can get the Lawnmower 4.0 in the performance package, where you get the Weed Whacker, which is for up your nose and your ears if you want to. Also, you get a travel bag, deodorant, boxer shorts, the works. 20% off, free worldwide shipping. Use the code United Stand, scan the QR code, it will take it off automatically. Fantastic products for men and not for lambs, and they do deliver worldwide, and you do get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger, makes a big difference. Very, very good. I think I came up with this. I think I actually came with the, as well. I should have trademark on that. I'm pretty sure over the years I've been wanting to ask this. I'm pretty sure I came up with trim with the grass to make the yard look bigger. I don't think that was a Manscaped line. I think I should have royalties for that. I'm pretty sure that theirs was precision engineering for your family jewels. And I was like, get rid of that. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Anyway, look, let's get on with the show. Manchester United, where are we going to start? So much to start about on the show. Big shout out to Manscaped. This is coming from Marcel Sabitzer's advisor, Roger Whitterman, who says, at Man United, we're seeing Marcel Sabitzer from Leipzig again. Not Bayern, from Leipzig. I'm very happy. Why is he saying that? Because at Leipzig, he was a bloody good player. So we're seeing the Marcel Sabitzer from Leipzig again at Manchester United. I'm very happy for him. What's next in the summer? We'll see when the time comes. Marcel is a top player. I'm not surprised at all that he performs so well so quickly. If you have as much experience as he does, it doesn't take long to find your way around such a club and in such a league. And I tell you what, I don't think we've even seen the fan reaction to Sabitzer properly yet. I really don't. I don't think we've seen it. I think that some of us have seen the value of Sabitzer. Some people have said, I'm not that interested. For me, I'm hugely impressed for two reasons. One, he's not playing in his best position. We're asking him to play a lot deeper without Casemiro. And for two, he's coming into a league he's never played for before and doing a good job. I personally think the more he gets used to the league and the more we play him in his best position, which is the Eriksen role next to Casemiro, I think he's going to get better and better. So for me, Sabitzer is a very interesting player. We don't know what the future is of Donny van der Beek. Eriksen will be 31 next year. And look, very valuable member of the squad. Personally, my midfield makeup next year, I'd like to see us bring in a really talented midfielder that can do the Casemiro role. Then you've got Casemiro, new signing, Sabitzer, Eriksen, Bruno, and, Maybe Fred stays for another year, I don't know. But McTominay and Donny maybe get moved on, and then you've got Mainu coming through as well. That's how I would be thinking about next season. So I'd very much like Sabitzer to stay. And I think also the thing about Sabitzer as well is that he's, 28, 29? So still got a good few years left in him. And I think Bayern Munich would sell him for 25 million. I really do. So tick, tick, tick. I think he's a good player to look at. Have you played the game, says Peter. So yeah, I mean, look, let's just run a quick flash poll on this. Signs a bit, let's say, all right, let's make it a little bit more interesting. Signs a bit for 30 mil. Would you do the deal? Yes or no? In the summer, would you sign him for 30 million in the summer, or do you think we should be looking elsewhere for something a little bit more expensive? Not expensive. A little bit more. Why is my poll not? Oh, kiss it, kiss it. Absolute shitter. Why is the poll not worked? Having a bloody laugh. I'm getting a bit... I don't know whether anyone else has had this. My live chat on my desktop for YouTube, I have to pop it out now. It's so small if I have it on the normal browser. It's really getting on my tits. And it's ruined my poll. The poll's not there. Anyway, a lot of people are saying yes. Sabitzer is a no contest for me. Let me see if I can do it again. I mean, it's slowing down the show here. Sabitzer for 30 mil. Let's try again. If it doesn't work this time, I'm going to get really cross. Yeah, it's going to work good. It's going to work. Welcome to the Members Club, Eld, and also Sabitzer staying would be great, says some. Good vision, energetic, and has great transitions with the ball. It would be a great option for Man United. And sell McTominay for 25 million to Everton or something like that, and use Sabitzer to use that money. It's a huge increase in quality for absolutely nothing. Easy deal. Good point, Brandon. Well made. I like it. So yeah, look, there's definitely. Hi Mark, what do you think of Garnacho's new trim? We'll talk about that in a minute. I definitely think on Sabitzer there is a real opportunity there. He's a player I liked at Leipzig. It's interesting that his advisor has said that. I think he fits into the way that Ten Hag wants to play. I certainly think he's a player that knows how to press and play the game the way we want to play it. You know, I get it. I think certain fans and certain other clubs, they'd be like, I want a shiny new toy in the summer. But I like the Eriksen signing. I know it was a free transfer, but I saw the value in it. And I like the Sabitzer signing. I think I see the value in it. I wouldn't make any commitments now. He's only played like 2 or 3 games. But I do like the idea of the deal and the fact that he's happy at the club and we're happy with him. Let's build it out and see what happens. So, look, it's positive news. I like it. Louis says, would you take Caicedo? Yeah, 100%. And I think maybe... I mean, Albie says he'd take him at Liverpool. I think it'd be a bloody good signing for Liverpool right now. 29 in a few weeks, says Fennick. Thank you. I think he's in... Yeah, I think you're right on that. I would take Caicedo at Manchester United. The stupid thing is, we've known about Caicedo longer than bloody Arsenal, but Arsenal have probably got him on lockdown now. But I would like Caicedo at Manchester United, and apparently he is a Man United player, a Man United fan. So, you know, I would like Caicedo. Imran says, what about Tielemans? I mean, apparently Ten Hag had a chat with Tielemans at the weekend, and people were sort of putting 2 and 2 together. I get the feeling Tielemans is... I mean, where's Tielemans going to go? I don't think he's going to Real Madrid. I mean, maybe Barcelona, but I don't know. I get the feeling with Tielemans that Bayern Munich were looking at him, Arsenal were looking at him, but nobody ever really commits on Tielemans. If I'm honest, I know Tielemans is a couple of years younger, but I don't think you'd get Tielemans and Sabitzer. So for me, I'd go Sabitzer. I would like to see Man United buy Sabitzer and Caicedo in the summer, and I'd be happy. Those two would do me. That'd be absolutely fine. Caicedo and Sabitzer, add it into Eriksen, Bruno, Casemiro, and then just keep one of Fred, McTominay or Van der Beek, and we're all right. You've got 6 there. So next season you'd have Casemiro, Caicedo, Eriksen, Sabitzer, Bruno, and Fred, McTominay or Donny, one of them, and sell 2. I'd be very happy with that 6. Be very happy with that. Sabitzer and Casemiro plus new signing, cracking midfielder. Eriksen still here too. Yes, please, says Louis. Thank you very much. And the great thing about someone like Caicedo is as well, and this is the type of player we need, and Caicedo's a decent shout, maybe De Jong as well. The great thing about a player like that is they can play the Eriksen role and they can play the Casemiro role. Whereas if you just get a CDM, Casemiro will play nearly every week and they'll be sat on the bench. So you're actually better off getting somebody who can play the Casemiro role and the number 8 role. Stephen Daly, welcome to the Members Club, and Noah as well. Thank you very much for joining. Appreciate that. What else did I want to talk to you about? There's loads I want to talk to you about. There was something I wanted to say before I move on, and I've completely forgotten what it was. Sorry, that's gone. There was something, I forget. It was just about midfielders. Zing, welcome to the Members Club as well. Great show tonight, says Ladios. Fenix says smash a like, thank you. De Jong, that was it. I was just going to quickly say, don't rule De Jong out. Don't rule it out. I still think that we will try, and I still think that De Jong and Casemiro in a midfield too would work really, really well. I think we should get another number 10 to compete with Bruno. That's more important for me, says Keenan. Well, yes and no. Yes and no, Keenan, because Eriksen can play at number 10. Sabitzer can play at number 10. Sancho's played at number 10. So I don't know that we need to buy an out-and-out number 10. And also, there are younger players that can come through and play that position. So I don't think a number 10 is as important. As I said, I think the balance of that midfield, if you had Casemiro, Eriksen, Sabitzer, Bruno, you buy a Casido who can play the Casemiro role and the number 8 role, and then you've got, maybe you keep Donny. He can play the number 10. Maybe you keep Fred, maybe McTominay, maybe. But, we have got people who can play number 10. I don't think it would be an absolute. And you've got people like Ahmad coming back as well, says Marvin as well. Yeah, don't forget people like that. I think Palestri doesn't look like he's going to get his chance at United for whatever reason, but I think Palestri's got number 10 written all over him as well. So, yeah. Ahmad has been lighting up the Championship at number 10, says Gabriel. Exactly. It's too soon on Sabitzer, says Sean. Need to see him beside Casemiro. Tielemans seems more like mid-table player or Italian league. Look, if I had to choose, 90% of you said that you would sign Sabitzer at the end of the season for 30 million. If I had to choose between Tielemans and Sabitzer, it's Sabitzer. I like Tielemans, and I think if Ten Hag wants him, he could take him to the next level, but I'd go Sabitzer. I always wanted to know, how many hours of sleep do you normally have, says Uncle Roy. Very, very quickly, because it's not football related and we've got lots to talk about, and I want to talk about what Xavi said next. But I'm very naughty. I should be going to bed at 11 o'clock, and I am tired at 11 o'clock, but I'll find something on Netflix or Amazon that I watch when everyone else has gone to sleep, and I have it. It's called Goldbridge time. It's where I watch telly, staying up late. But I normally always try and go to sleep before midnight. But I don't think I get enough sleep. I think I really should have 8 hours, and I normally have about 6.5. It's not enough, really. It's not enough. Anyway, let's move on. Very interesting comments coming out from Xavi tonight. I don't know whether you saw it. Xavi has said that, speaking about Manchester United specifically, not to do with the game, basically Xavi has played the game. I've played the game in Qatar. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Qatar. So basically, Xavi has been interviewed tonight because obviously Manchester United are playing Barcelona tomorrow night, and Xavi played in Qatar for 6 months, and basically he said that I've got a good relationship with Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani, and he would do a good job. Basically said he'd spent 6 years there, and he's a very serious guy who knows what he's doing. And that's coming in from Xavi, who is the Barcelona coach. So obviously he was asked questions about it by the British press, which is what can happen. And he has come out and said that he, sort of given him his seal of approval for Xavi from 6 years. What did I say? 6 months. Sorry about that. So Xavi has come out and basically backed the guy from Qatar owning Manchester United, and he did spend 6 years there. So interesting, isn't it? I don't know how that will fly with some people, specifically in the media in the UK, who don't want us to be owned by Qatar. But Xavi there, very respected coach, coming out and said, he wouldn't see a problem with it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you. Bro said 6 years again. What was it? Not what am I on about then? What? I love it when people say, "Bro said 6 years. 6 years. What's he talking about? 6 years." I thought it was 6 years. How long did he spend there then? I'm pretty sure he was. Where did he? Well, he did. What are you talking about? Come on then. It's not 6 months. It was 6 years. Swivel on that. Swivel on that. Have that one. Have that one. You bloody idiots trying to correct me. I was bloody right in the first. It is 6 years. Listen to his quote. Listen to his quote. I know Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani so well, and he's a very good person. It would be a good option for Manchester United. I know him well because I worked in Qatar for 6 years. Swivel on that. Swivel on that. You bloody idiots. Yes. Yes. 1-0 to Goldbridge. That doesn't happen very often. That doesn't happen. They're taking it as banter. Yeah, they're taking it as banter. But I do normally make mistakes, and they're normally right. Smug gets in the chat, but that's one for me. Come on, shoo! Have it, have it, have it. 6 years. I love it. I do enjoy that though. Smugbridge. I do enjoy that when I make a slip up and people start correcting you in the chat, and then they get it wrong. So yeah, he worked there for 6 years and has basically said that the person who's bidding for Manchester United, I know him very well. He's a very good person. He would do a good option for Manchester United. I worked with him for 6 years. I've got a good relationship with him, and he would do a good job. I mean, look, that's probably, if we're being completely honest, that is probably the best endorsement we've seen for the Qatar bid, and it's coming from a rival manager. It's mad, isn't it? I mean, and I'm not saying he's right and I'm not saying he's wrong, but that's probably the most positive update we've had on the person buying Manchester United in the last 2 weeks from anybody, whether it's press, ex-players, fans, anybody. That's probably the best the best update there's been. And look, I mean, Xavi for me is one of the best midfielders that's played the game in the last 20 years, but I don't know much about his character or his morals or anything like that. But it's interesting, isn't it? It is interesting because that's the person who's trying to buy Manchester United. Maybe he'll try and buy Barcelona next instead. Maybe that's what that's all about. Who knows? Who knows? But look, interesting. Also interesting. I want to talk about the OSIMHEN thing, but also interesting. Just wanted to mention this to you. So this came out this afternoon and sort of got swallowed up. I don't know whether you've seen the video we put out, actually. Adam was at the open training session today and at the press conference. Really good video on the home channel that you might want to have a look at a little bit later. But amongst everything that was going on today, there was actually a story about, I mean, I call them arse management, but it's not right. It's ARES, A-R-E-S, not A-R-S-E. It's ARES Management, which is an American investment company, has offered funds to at least one bidder to support their takeover of Manchester United. So ARES Management. I mean, you might want to call them arse management. That probably does work, but it's another American investment fund that wants to offer the money up for a bidder to support their takeover of Manchester United. So we had the Elliott Group on Saturday, didn't we? They've basically done the same. And now we've got the ARES Management Group who are looking to offer the money up for somebody to bid as well. ARES, not arse. I mean, it's an analogy. What do they call it? A pseudonym or something like that? But another leech, says Liam. But arse funding investment, says Muzzy. ARES is the name. Look, I said this on Twitter today. You might have seen it, but I'll just repeat what I said on Twitter because I feel lazy. So when I heard this afternoon, this is what I tweeted. All these reports of investment funds backing bidders and interested parties looking for partners to support their bid talk about starting on the wrong foot. If you haven't got the money to buy us, you definitely haven't got the money to improve things when you do get us. And I think this is, there are certain things that you cannot really cast your judgment on. I agree with that, but I feel very, very firmly on this. Whether it's Elliott, ARES, Bottom, I don't care what the investment group is from, and I don't care where they're from either. If they are offering up money to people to buy Manchester United, it's wrong. It's wrong. You know why they're doing it? They're basically mortgage companies. It's basically like if I picked out Stephen Dixon, who says Eriksen can play number 10. If Stephen Dixon's looking to buy a house, Goldbridge mortgages, Paul Brook mortgages, Elias mortgages, and Rich Christian mortgages, we're all competing with him to borrow him money to buy his house. Why are we doing that? Because we know he likes that house, and we know he's got a decent job, and we know that for the next 25 years he's going to be paying us back at a much bigger interest rate. So if I give him $500,000 to buy his house, over the next 20 years he'll probably give me back $1 million because of the interest. That's why Aris Investments and Elliott Group are coming forward saying we'll lend you the money to buy Man United, because they know, I mean, at the end of the day, if you can lend somebody £4 billion and know that you'll get 7 billion back, double your money, try to get rich. That's what they're doing here. I mean, some people have been saying today, I don't get it. Why don't they just buy the club themselves? Because they're investment companies, and investment companies want to make money. So that's what they're doing. They're like mortgage companies. They don't want to buy Man United, but they want to lend the money to somebody who wants to buy Man United, because they'll easily go, oh, there's 4 billion. We want you to buy Man United. You'd be great at it. There's 4 billion. By the way, the interest payments add up to 7 billion over the next 10 years. Double your money, try to get rich. And where does the 7 billion come from? Manchester United revenue. So look, forget about it. Absolutely forget about it. Not interested. Well, it's not up to me, but I'm not interested in any of this. Any of these investment stories are just another glazer as far as I'm concerned. Can't stand this. And also, the most important thing for me is, if somebody's borrowing money to buy us, they've definitely not got the money when they get hold of us. If I can't, but look, I'm a United fan, you're a United fan. If I was to buy Manchester United by borrowing money, I basically walk into the door and I've got no money left. I've borrowed everything to buy the club. I ain't buying you Mbappe. You know, I'm not buying you building a newer stadium. I'm just in the job. That's it. So look, I don't like these stories. I understand it though. From a cynical point of view, I completely understand why people are coming out and offering money to people to buy Manchester United. It makes total sense to me. The bottom line is, we just don't want it to happen. We really don't want it to happen. Not in a million years. Thank you. Not in a million years. It would be horrible, in a sense. But I hope that explains why people want to offer up money for people to buy Manchester United. Because in a very simple sense, the reason they want to do it is because they want to lend the money to somebody and then get a shitload back. Easy. Apparently Man City are winning 1-0. I mean, look, can I just tell you a funny story about Man City? Last night I did a watch-along for Liverpool against Real Madrid. 27,000 people watched. There was other watch-alongs going on. Everybody was very interested in it. I looked on YouTube tonight. No one's doing a watch-along for Man City against Leipzig. No one gives a shit. I don't know how they'll ever cross that bridge. Nobody gives a shit about Man City unless they're playing somebody else that's decent. If they were playing Real Madrid, I'd watch it because it's Real Madrid. If they were playing Chelsea in the quarter-final, I'd watch it because it's Chelsea. But I can't be asked to watch City play Leipzig. I mean, nothing against Leipzig. You've got a bad draw there. And also, can I just say about City, how anybody can sit watching them at the moment and enjoy it, when in the back of my head I'm thinking 100 charges over 11 years. I just don't see the credibility in them at all. I really don't. And their football's boring. Welcome to the United Stand. This is the Manchester United channel. People do watch Manchester United. And we're playing Barcelona tomorrow night. Massive, massive story to develop there. I really hope we win tomorrow night, by the way. I did a tweet. This happens at this time every year. I think some of you will know. I sort of am very good at winding up La Liga fans. I mean, it's very easy. The Premier League's better than La Liga. And they're trying to pretend that it's not because they beat a mid-table team last night. Liverpool are mid-table this year. So last time I looked at La Liga, Barcelona were the best team by a long way. They've only conceded 7 goals. They're well clear at the top. Barcelona are the best team in La Liga. Knock them out tomorrow. the Super League is the Premier League. But it happens every year, and sometimes it goes wrong, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But I want to beat them tomorrow. The funny thing is, I do really like Barcelona. I really like Barcelona. I love the ground. I love some of the football they've played. Fantastic club. I remember Bobby Robson managing Barcelona. That's how old I am. I don't really remember Lineker playing there. I think I was very young there. But I'm not talking about bloody Lineker anyway. He's not having the steam off my piss anymore, blocking me because of a Casemiro red card tweet. I used to worship Lineker growing up. Absolute arsehole. Forget about it. I'm not interested in him. I'd rather talk about bloody Jemba's career from now on. This will be a Lineker free zone. He's burnt his bridge with me. Burnt bridge. But no, Mark Hughes was always better. Gary Lineker is just a wish Brian McClare. In fact, he's not even that. I think he played in an era where they didn't have VAR, so he was offside for most of his career. I would say Gary Lineker is nothing more than a modern day Danny Ings. In fact, I think Danny Ings is probably better than him. Anyway, moving on. Let's move on. No, I did used to like Lineker as a player, but blocking me because of a Casemiro red card. Come on, grow up. It's because he's Rio's mate. But anyway, let's move on. Talking about strikers, I don't know whether you saw today, Napoli, Presidente or Director of Football or whatever, somebody powerful at Napoli speaking about OSIMHEN. And it got me thinking because Napoli are very good at this. And he basically said, look, we get our players on contracts that we don't need to worry about people going. Never say never, but I'm pretty confident that he'll be with us for a few more years yet. And the problem with that is that if you don't know your football and you don't know about Napoli, then don't start thinking we're getting OSIMHEN in the summer, and then that creates all sorts of problems. I think OSIMHEN at Man United would be a really good option, but I don't think he's a £200 million option, and I don't think he's a £150 million option. And I personally think Napoli are going to start the bidding at 125 million, and that is probably going to be prohibitive. And you know where we're heading with this. But look, I like OSIMHEN. I think he'd be a very good signing for us. But the Napoli guy is right. They don't get done. They don't get robbed, and they don't give players up for cheap. So as much as we might be looking at him in the summer, I don't think United are going to be that club in the summer that starts doing what Chelsea do. Chelsea might do it. Chelsea might find 125 million down the back of the sofa or something, but I don't think United are going to get OSIMHEN because I just think Napoli have given out all the warning signs. They're basically saying we expect him to be a Napoli player for a few more years yet. Never say never, which basically means if somebody wants to offer us stupid money, we might do a deal, but we don't need to and we don't want to. So I would say that OSIMHEN is definitely an A-star choice for Manchester United. I mean, we were pretty... I wouldn't say we were close to getting him in August, but there was an offer there. I think it was £100 million plus Ronaldo. And we were interested. But I think it's a very difficult deal to do in the summer. And look, have you seen Serie A? They're through to the next round of the Champions League anyway. They won last night. They've basically nearly won the Serie A. He might not want to leave Napoli anyway. They might bloody win the Champions League and the league. But they're an amazingly good side. You're not getting him for cheap. You're getting him for a lot of money. And I don't know. It doesn't feel like United will do that. Do you think there might be more news on the takeover on Friday? Because it'll have been a week since the deadline, says Glennie. I think news on the takeover, Glennie, is always going to come in. Gradually, it will come in. Like there's always news every day. Xavi spoke about it tonight. This Aros investment group, they've come out today as well. What you got to remember is there'll always be developments around the sale of Manchester United, but none of it will ever be crystal clear. There is a bid from Qatar, there is a bid from Sir Jim, but there's also a load of other stuff that's been kept quiet. What if the people backing Jim cover the upgrades of the stadium and Jim covers the transfers, says Daniel. Don't know, Daniel. You know, we're all speculating. We're speculating, aren't we? I don't know. Pacey says, I'd go for Vlahovic, half the price and much easier to do. Well, you know what I'm going to say. Uck, thank you very much for your super chat. You know what, very first super chat as well. I love the way YouTube does that now. If someone does a super chat and it's their first one, it says celebrate the first super chat from Uck. There you go. Let's celebrate. Celebrate and see. Sesko says Blaze Runner. I've got both Vlahovic and Osimhen on my FIFA career mode. I have. Marvin says Osimhen's not worth 120 million. What would you rank, actually, just before I talk about who I think we will get? I don't think Jonathan David's statty. I really don't think so. I don't think Thuram either, even though he'll be free. I think we need a top striker. But how much do you think Osimhen's worth, just before I say who I think we're going to get? I think Osimhen, in a fair market, and look, a player's worth what a club can get. And I do think there might be a club that just goes in and pays silly money. But I'd say Osimhen's worth 90 million top 90 million. But the trouble is, Napoli paid 70. I can't remember whether it was euros or pounds, but they paid 70 million, didn't they? So they will want double. They want to double their money. Double their money, try to get rich. Dazzo says, I want Qatar, if not Sir Jim. Don't want any of these investment groups, says Dazzo. Would you go for Benzema? Well, I mean, I'd love Benzema to play at Manchester United, Corbs, but after Ronaldo, Cavani and Zlatan, we've had our fill of world-class strikers coming towards the end of their career. I would like to find the next world-class striker. I would like to do that. And but look, it's Slow Sports News. Let's go live to Mark Goldbridge for his thoughts on the striker that Manchester United are going to sign this summer. What do you think, Simon? In fact, let's go to Mark. I think it'll be Harry Kane. I think it's very obvious it's going to be Harry Kane. I mean, I might be completely wrong, but I have been saying this for 5 months. My hunch is Harry Kane. I think it's so logical. He won't cost as much as Osimhen. He's Premier League proven. He's never won anything. And he can't go to Chelsea. He can't go to Arsenal. He can't go to Spurs. He can't go to Liverpool. He can't go to Man City. It's just so logical that Harry Kane will come to Manchester United. And I don't think Ten Hag would say no, because he's using Weghorst. And whatever you think about Harry Kane, he's way better than Weghorst. So, and he's also used Weghorst as a number 10. You could definitely use Harry Kane as a number 10 behind Rashford. So I think the more I see Ten Hag use Weghorst, the more I see he'd definitely take Harry Kane. He would. Tell me I'm wrong. I always thought we'd go for Harry Kane because I think the club have wanted Harry Kane for years. But this Weghorst thing has done this to me. Oh my God. Like, he's basically using Weghorst in the positions that Harry Kane would be 20 times better. He's used Weghorst as a 10. He's used him as a 9. I think Harry Kane would not be a no from Erik Ten Hag. I don't know. I don't think Harry Kane's his number 1. I think maybe Osimhen is his number 1, or maybe Sesko's his number 1, or maybe Ramos is his number 1. But I think the club will go, we can get you Harry Kane. Do you want him? And he'll go, yeah, okay, because you can't get me what I want. And I'm not saying he doesn't want Harry Kane, but I think we will see Harry Kane. Will Sancho ever be worth what we paid for him? Says Reese. He's got the potential. He has got the potential. I think we've just got to be patient. Have you heard anything about Roque? There were some thoughts we would get him. Arjun, no. And he's prepping for Kane then, says K-Michael. Well, look, do I want Harry Kane? You know the answer. You know the answer. Do I want Harry Kane? No, I don't. Do I think Harry Kane's world class? Yes, I do. This will blow people's minds because this is where you're subjective, but you're not a hater and you're not a lover. I think Harry Kane is world class, without a shadow of a doubt. He's one of the best strikers in the world. I'd have that argument in any pub. But do I want him at Man United? No. Wow, what? You need a striker? You've just said he's world class and you don't want him? No, because I want somebody that's more suitable. I have a vision of what I want at Man United. I want a quick striker who's powerful, who's a goal scorer, and he's going to be with us for the next 7-8 years. Well, Harry Kane's none of those things. He'll be 30 in the summer. I think he'll give us 3 or 4 years if we're lucky. He's not what I want, but it's not like signing bloody Fellaini. I wouldn't be there going, oh my God, I don't want this to happen. I know he'd do very good. I personally think Kane will pick up injuries in his 30s as well. I really do, but people don't think that'll happen. But I think it's going to happen, and I think it will work. as long as Harry Kane can play like he has done for the last 2 years and stay fit, he will work. He's a good player. But I think he will frustrate the fan base as well, because he ain't fast. And he drops very deep. And I think it will get frustrating at times, but if Rashford plays in front of him, it might work really well, because it has done with Son. But for me, I wouldn't go for Kane. I think that there are better options out there for us as a club that's building. But, I mean, he guarantees you goals. I think it will happen. Bob says, I know this is stating the obvious, but imagine Bellingham alongside Casemiro. Well, you know, you've just imagined the reality if we got in super wealthy owners very, very quickly. Somebody said to me 2 weeks ago, if Qatar could buy the club tomorrow, they would. And if they did buy the club tomorrow, Bellingham would end up at Man United, because they'd just be able to go and blow everybody out of the water. And Bellingham would have to be very stubborn about wanting to go to Liverpool or Real Madrid, because Man United are on the up and it's a great opportunity. But we might not get bought by Qatar, and it's certainly not going to get bought tomorrow. I think the thing with Bellingham is he's already deep into negotiations with Liverpool and Real Madrid, and has been for a while. And United can't join the party because we've not been bought, and we might not get bought for 3, 4, 5 months. So I don't see United getting Bellingham unless we can get this sale done very, very quickly. Isn't Rashford supposed to be the ideal United striker, says Surish? I think that Rashford can play as a number 9, but I think he's better as a winger. I mean, I don't know what the comparison is this season, but I think that look, on the eye test, I prefer him on the wing. Based on Rashford, and the reason is very, very simple. On the eye test, Rashford's better when he's running at goal rather than when he's back to goal. And as a number 9, you do have to play with your back to goal a lot. Jesus says, based on Rashford, Antony and Garnacho's style of play, Kane would be more suitable to the team than OSIMHEN. Not that I want, just my opinion. And I agree with you. I agree with you. I absolutely do agree with you, because Antony is not putting enough crosses in the box. Rashford doesn't. Garnacho isn't at the moment. Sancho's not settled. We don't really have wide players that are very creative. They're more flair goal scorers, really. So yeah, look, Harry Kane as a creative number 9 would support them more than being a goal scorer. Moise Keane would be a great young striker to sign, says Jackson. Just before we move on as well, I did see something yesterday. I've got no idea where the origins of it are, and I would probably file it as bullshit, because it doesn't make any sense to me anyway. But some of you might have seen it yesterday. There was a story yesterday, or a rumour going around yesterday, or people were discussing it yesterday, that Weghorst won't be staying at Manchester United in the summer. And a few people were talking about it on social media. I mean, look, this is similar to Sabitzer. Like, we've just said, yeah, it'd be nice to keep Sabitzer, but we need to see what he can do between now and the end of the season, which is completely logical. And if he does well, you'd keep him. Why would that not be the same situation with Weghorst? I don't think a decision on Weghorst has been made. I would even go as far as to say it's 50-50. Now, some people seem to think there's a 90% chance he'll leave. I think there's a lot that can... I think it can go both ways with Weghorst. If he's happy to be a bit part player at Man United, I think we might keep him if he does well. If he wants to play first team football week in, week out at his age and doesn't want to be a bench player or a bit part player at Man United, he might not want to come. If he doesn't do particularly well, we'll probably let him go. If he does a good job and Ten Hag looks at him and goes, look, you won't start games for me, but you will be an option. I mean, I can't guarantee you guaranteed minutes. I can't even guarantee you'll be the striker that comes off the bench, but you know, you'll be a valued member of the squad, and you're an option that I can use. I could see that happening if he does well between now and the end of the season. Does he want that? I don't see why he wouldn't. So I wouldn't be writing Weghorst's United future off yet. I think there is an opportunity. He's never going to be the OSIMHEN. He's never going to be the Kane. But he might be an option. And obviously all of this feeds into Anthony Martial. I'm sure you saw the clip on United Stand earlier of him training on his own. I sensed from the comments there wasn't a lot of excitement. And I'm a big fan of Martial, as you know. But even I'm like... well, great, he's back doing individual training. I mean, literally, he came on as a bench. He came on for the last half an hour last time he came back from injury, and he's missed another 2 or 3 weeks again. It's very hard to be encouraged by Anthony Martial's return from injury when the last time, and it's his 5th injury, the last time He came on for half an hour and got injured. So, you know, it's not just one striker we need. We probably do need two in the summer. And Weghorst might be seen as an easy option to be an option. Let me just read this. Welcome to the United Stand Members Club, Mitch. Thanks for supporting the channel. Zach says, a bit off topic, but can you make a United Barcelona 11, including injuries as well? Yeah, I'll do it for you now. And then we can have an argument, can't we? So my Manchester United versus Barcelona combined 11 would be De Gea in goal, 100%. 100%. Right back... you said without injuries. So in form, right back, the low of the first few months of the season, 100%. Left back, you know what? Alba's not better than Luke Shaw. Baldy's done quite well, but I'm going Luke Shaw at left back. Centre backs, I do like Araujo, but you can't break up Varane and Martinez. So it's a complete Man United back five. I'm going to get into so much trouble here with Barcelona fans. It's a complete back five for me, which makes a lot of sense because our back five has been... Their back five's been very good. They've only conceded 7 goals in La Liga. So there will be an argument there, but I'm not going to turn my back. I'm a United fan. I'm going to go with our back five. Sorry. Midfield, Casemiro. I'm going to go controversial here. Midfield, Casemiro, De Jong, Pedri. I do think that would work really well. I love Bruno. And I have to find... I really want to put Bruno in, but I actually do think Casemiro, De Jong and Pedri would work really, really well. I think Pedri's a fantastic player. Whether you agree with me or not, I do. I think he's a good player. Front three, Lewandowski, Rashford, and Dembele off the right. Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed that. That was good. I mean, I haven't thought that through. That's completely off the top of my head. And I find myself thinking I probably should kick Pedri out to put Bruno in because I love Bruno. But, yeah, so De Gea, Delo, Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw. Have you ever noticed how I say Martinez? I don't know why I do that. So United's back five, but then I'd go Pedri, De Jong and Casemiro. And then I'd go Lewandowski, Rashford and Dembele. So I'd have 4 Barcelona players and 7 Manchester United players. Would you go Pedro? Oh, look, I've gone controversial there. You know me. I love Bruno Fernandes and I would like to put him in, but I do really like Pedri. I really do. I mean, arguably, you could play Pedri, Casemiro and Bruno. But, yeah. Well, look, that's my opinion. How do you rate Lozano and Alvarez? Says Humberto. What, for Man United? I mean, Alvarez is interesting from Ajax as a sort of Casemiro option. But I enjoyed that. That was a good question. Well done. You're telling me you wouldn't take Weghorst, says Ryan. The funny thing is, if you get a Barcelona fan, they'll be going, well, none of their back five get into our back five. And, Busquets is better than Casemiro. And Gavi is better than Rashford. So I wouldn't even put any United player in. You know that's what Barcelona fans are going to say. They won't even be subjective. But you know what? We were 2-2 last week. So if you try and do a combined 11, bias is going to come in because neither team really got split last week. We were fantastic. They're a very good side. I mean, the referee decided to make it a draw. Let's be honest, we would have won. But, it's interesting. I do like Araujo as well, but I cannot take Martinez or Varane out. Varane and Martinez. It's the one area on the pitch where a partnership still matters. Martinez is brilliant because of Varane, and Varane is brilliant because of Martinez. It's a symmetry. I deal with the left side of the defence, you deal with the right side of the defence. You know, you're quick, I'm not particularly quick, but I'm a better passer. You know, they complement each other really, really well. So yeah, but who would manage the team? Ten Hag. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I wouldn't swap. Here we go. I haven't said this since Sir Alex. I wouldn't swap Ten Hag for any manager in the world. And even when we had Mourinho winning the Europa League, I knew he wasn't the best manager in the Premier League. I liked him, but I knew he wasn't the best. Even when Solskjaer was Ollie at the wheel and we were all singing outside Old Trafford, I knew he wasn't the best. I knew he wasn't in the top three. Early days of Van Gaal, I liked him, but I knew he wasn't even in the top 5 in the world. Ten Hag, I wouldn't swap him for anyone. There's no manager. Ancelotti, Pep, Klopp, no. And that's a big statement to make, and that's not being stubborn or pig-headed, because Liverpool fans will say you're having a laugh, Klopp's better, and Man City fans, if you can find one, will say Pep's better, and the Real Madrid fans will say you're having a laugh, and Barcelona fans will say Xavi's better. I ain't got a problem with that, but from the bottom of my heart, I'm telling you, I wouldn't swap Ten Hag for any manager in the world, and what a beautiful position that is to be in when we've not been in that situation since Sir Alex. I genuinely wouldn't swap that man for any manager in world football, and I tell you what, I would have done for the last 10 years. I'd have swapped them all for 2 or 3. But not now. Not no more, Billy. Not no more. No chance. Would you drop Dembele from right wing to put Bruno in? Mate, I think Ousmane Dembele, I've given him so much stick. What is it? Breadstick, hamstrings and all that. I think this last year and a bit, he has been marvellous. Marvellous. I thought in the World Cup he was fantastic. But I think for Barcelona over the last year, he has been absolutely brilliant. And, this is the great thing about football. We've seen it with Rashford, the change in a year. If you'd have said to me 18 months ago when we were looking at Ousmane Dembele, I'd have said, no, don't want to go anywhere near him. His injury record's ridiculous. I tell you what, I'd take him tomorrow at Man United. I think even with the injuries, he seems to have got a hold on it, although he's injured at the moment. I think he's a fantastic player. I really do. So, he's someone who's turned it around as well. Definitely. Mark, I love Bruno, but I chose Pedri, hit hard. It's like my ex saying I love you, but the other guy's got his shit together. This is vengeance. I do love Bruno. I love him, and you know what? I never shut up about how good he's been. We had a bit of a fallout at the end of last season because he got that new contract and he was bloody shit for a long time. And I was disappointed. And sometimes you go harder on the things you really like because that sounds wrong. But you do. I think so. I don't know whether you're like that, but you're tougher on the things you care about because you care. When my daughter's playing football, if she has a bad game or something like that, I will spend time really explaining to her like why I'm right and she's not, because I'm like, I care about how you play and I think you've got potential and this is what I want you to do. If I didn't care, I'd just say, come on, let's go to McDonald's. Let me get you a Big Mac. But so yeah, there was that period of time with Bruno where I was very hard on him and I wasn't happy with him for about 6 months. But, since Ten Hag's come in, he's been brilliant. He's been a brilliant captain. I think some people weren't sure about him as a captain. Brilliant as a captain this year. And arguably one of the first players that needs to be on the team sheet every game for Man United. But on pure balance and combined 11 that's never going to bloody happen, I still stick by what I've done. Hi Mark, going through a breakup at the moment and your videos are bringing me joy, says Tech. Keep up the great work, it's really appreciated. Only love can hurt like this. Must have been your tender kiss. Hopefully that'll help as well. You got there's nothing worse than a breakup unless you're happy about it. Sometimes in a breakup, some people are very happy about it. If you're the one that's been dumped, I would subscribe from Dr. Goldbridge, plenty of United Stand community and banter, and Football Manager, Netflix. Just take your mind off it, watching things you enjoy. And you know what I mean about that. Let's be honest. You'll probably find something on certain places that are better than anything you broke up with. No matter how good they were, you'll find better options in a certain place. They won't be able to live with it. Just pretend that's your girlfriend. Pam for a few weeks will be fine. Spelled with P-A-L-L-M. Palom? No, I got that wrong. Anyway, look, it's good advice. It's great advice. If you've been down that road, it is great advice. And people will say, oh, come on. We're all human beings. You know it's true. I can't be bothered with those people who go, oh, no, that doesn't happen. Rubbish. I was out with, no, I can't say it because they'll get in trouble. I was out a couple of weeks ago in London doing a live show with somebody. You'll know who it is now. And we're having a few beers afterwards. And somebody was telling us, was ranking their top 5 categories. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. This is disgusting. But and number 1, I think, was, what was it? It was something like hen parties in America that get wild. I've never looked. I can only imagine. But there you go. Right, that was a cracking show. I always like this is a bit like the watch along last night, but better. I love it when it gets all done like this. You'll probably see it on TikTok soon. It wasn't Ben Foster who said that. It wasn't. Right, someone's going to go and check that category now. I couldn't find it when I looked, but I think I might have got the words mixed up. There was something else I wanted to talk about, completely forgotten, but I think on that bombshell we should probably end the show because people are now, bloody hell, it's like when Love Island's on. The live numbers have just dropped by 2,000 and the servers on a certain porn site have just broke. I'm joking. Lies, mates, is Tumbleweed. And hello, Mark. Did you see that Sir Alex met Eric? Spoke about it this afternoon. There are a couple of good videos to watch if you've been busy today. My press conference reaction to Ten Hag, very, very good. Not because I did it, but because the topics were good. I love what Varane had to say. And then if you want to watch the press conference and the team in training, Adam was there with Ryan for the United Stand this afternoon. So we've got the training session that you can watch as well. Thanks everyone for watching. And I will speak to you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Can I just say, one more sleep. This game tomorrow night, biggest game of the season. Biggest game in the last 5 years. Massive game. And Newcastle. We're heading into that space now where bids will matter, but tomorrow night it's huge. Can't wait. Don't miss the watch along tomorrow night. It's going to be great. Don't forget Manscaped. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Links in the video description for that. 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Use the code United Stand. You won't regret it. Fantastic show. It can't be great without you. So thank you very much for watching. Really enjoyed it, and I hope you did as well. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching.